To make a set of wood rings for the gym, I fastened down a scrap piece of Baltic birch plywood on the CNC table. I didn't quite measure right, so let me try that again. This time I was a little more careful and marked safe locations to use composite nails to hold the wood in place. I haven't yet ran the end mill bit into one of my metal clamps, but I can't imagine it'd be a fun thing to do. So it's nice not having to use them, especially on smaller pieces like this. I read it's fairly standard for wood rings to have a diameter of 1 1/4, so I first surfaced the two halves down to 5/8 of an inch. I'm going to use 4 dowels to fasten the two sides together, which should make it strong, and also is nice for initially positioning them. This is a bit of an experiment, but I bought a 5/8 inch radius roundover bit and cut the ruler guide off with the angle grinder. Usually when I'm setting up the toolpaths in Aspire, I just pick out the bit I'm using from a list of options. But this bit wasn't listed, of course. But I just figured out the right offset I needed and the depth, and kind of tricked it into doing what I needed it to. I also added lead-ins and lead-outs, like I would do with the plasma cutting toolpaths, so the roundover bit wouldn't have to plunge cut. It worked decently. I'm sure there are better options out there, but it got the job done. I'm going to be doing all kinds of acrobatics on these things. Flips, dips, one-handed turns, sow cows, the dancing cobra, etc. In other words, I need to make sure they're good and strong so they don't break and I fall on my head. The next day I grabbed my favorite woodworking tool and milled down the dowels. I had a few leftover Hurley grip tapes, which would work perfect for the rings. To mount the rings to the center ridge beam, I needed to make some metal brackets. I used some temporary spacers that matched the width of the beam while I welded up the brackets. was able to use a clamp to hold the bracket in place while I drilled out one side. Then I could bolt it, remove the clamp, and drill the other side. I mounted the rings nice and high, so I don't have to pick up my feet. I'm on the taller side, and I've spent my life picking up my feet for all pull-up bars and the like.
Strong.
So strong.
I have a lifelong goal of doing a muscle up. I have a long ways to go.
Oh, there's no way I'm gonna do that thing right.
Yeah, you can. You'd be here to just.
That's right. Can I go into that bed? Let's see if I can do that.
Later on, I made another set of rings that I set just above the floor, which are great for doing push-ups and other bodyweight stuff.